Was smoking all my dragons, divine, righteous, almighty greats, overachieving, never slacking. We back. I'm still out of town, so the vid is once again, a little dark, but it's all right. Doesn't look too bad tonight. We got Ren Money Game Part 3 official music video. I'm not gonna waste no time. I made it happen to this. If you're new to the channel, make sure you binge watch my Ren playlist. And we just gonna get to it. Here we go. Money Game Part 3. Let's get to this masterpiece.
Let me tell you a story about a boy named Jimmy. 1 year old and his first words were mine, mine, gimme. 2 years old he was walking, 3 years old walking quickly. 4 years old he was running round the pavements of his city. 5 years old and his daddy told him, listen here son, you gotta learn to be a man. A man, he works for what he wants. 6 years old and he's reading, writing, top of the bunch. And when he's 7, his progression made him student number 1. 8 years old and he's praised for unusual grades. 9, his parents paid for private school to nurture the flame. 10, 11, 12, 13, he ascends and ascends. His daddy tells him, son, money is the means to all ends. 14, solving complex mathematical equations. At 15, IQ 150, still elevating. 16, he develops complex software code that detects weaknesses in cybersecurity protocols. 17, and he sells his vision, keeping the share. Not yet an adult, but he's practically a millionaire. 18, and his daddy tells him, now you're a man. This world don't give a damn about you, so take all that you can. 19, he turns a profit, stocks and shares, invest in product. 20, double down deposits. 21, his income rockets. 22, he learns the truth is just an obstacle to wealth. If you manipulate the data, then a lie will sell itself. 23, a life of luxury, crystal and cocaine. 24, he makes the Forbes list, they're applauding his name. 25, and his daddy tells him, listen here son, while you're sitting in that palace, that don't mean that you won. 26, a business shift, he switches business to arms. He's 27, dealing nuclear and shells in Iran. 28, inside the Senate, money bought him a seat. He's 29, a role of counsel in the president's suite. Now he's 30, his daddy says you're losing the race. You're just a servant to the king, not even in second place. 31, 31, a big maneuver for his daddy's approval. Moving imports over borders from the exports out of Cuba. 32, moving grams, growing kilos to tons. He's 33, filling warehouses with powder and guns. 34, turf war with nobody to stop it. Blind eye from the po-po inside of his pocket. 35, he gets the call. I'm sorry, son, but it's your father. Had a heart attack, I'm sorry, he's gone. 36, getting pissed up, abusing his product. 37, eyes glazed, disposition demonic. 38, with a prostitute, a moment of passion, heating up a silver spoon and then chasing the dragon. 39, getting reckless and hungry for power. Daddy's words are still driving him to kill and devour. Makes a move against the cartel, but the strategy's flawed. They retaliate and leave him in a hospital ward. A bullet buried in his vertebra and one in his leg. The doctor sighs and says, I don't think you'll be walking again. Fuck. Let me tell you a story about a boy named Jimmy. He was 40 and he cursed the words, mine, mine, gimme. 41, he wasn't walking. 42, not walking quickly. 43, never running round the pavements of his city. 44, inside a palace with a mountain of gold. But those riches turn to rubble when perspective evolves. Weighing heavy on his conscience is the value of gold. Lamborghini for a life, trading money for souls. Jimmy followed the code inside the land of the free. Put your hand inside the cookie jar, take more than you need. And his example is exaggerated versions of me. And it's a version of him, and it's a version of she, and it's a version of you. There's no escaping the blame. The way we live is parasitic. Fuck for money and fame. Cut the music. This isn't entertainment. This is real life. The way we live is lunacy. Community, it declines. Hyperpolarized, always fighting, then we divide. Truth is less important than the money that we designed. Money's an invention. Politics from our invention. They all come from people's ideas. Did I mention? Border's an invention. Law and order fuel the tension. It leads to people killing each other. My solution? Everything is subject to change. We could build utopias if individuals were taught to use their brains. But if we teach kids in schools to always be sheep and put themselves before the herd if there's more money for me, then there's no future I see where the humans survive. We're parasites inside a petri dish with cannibal minds. Mold will grow upon the surface and consumes till it dies. And our fate could be the same without this story to the wise. "45. Jimmy comes home out of the rain, soaking wet upon a wheelchair, drinking again. He is everything he wants, he is fortune and fame. He's a fortunate fool with an unfortunate fate. With a 45 caliber aimed at his brain. 45 a fitting number cause his age is the same. Here's the words of his father, it's such a damn shame. Then he presses on the trigger of a money game.
Wow. Let's dive into that.
Ordinary dish soap can
Wow.
leave invisible.
So that that was poetic. He had me just he had my attention the whole time. Um, it goes to show too what parents can do, what fathers can do, mothers too, but with, specifically to keep it about this story with little Jimmy. His father from the gate put all that pressure on him and, taught him that the world was pretty much dog eat dog world. It was about money. It was about being the best and just staying on top. And he kept that pressure on him. And eventually that pressure, it broke him. I mean, he started getting, dealing with the drugs, dealing with the cartel, takes a shot to the vertebrae, can't walk no more. Uh, and, to be in your 40s and not be able to walk, I mean, 40s is still pretty young. I see guys all the time, especially in the gym, 60, 70, 80, who are still putting in work in the gym. You got older guys who are still in the gym who, they're doing pull-ups and they're smoking the younger guys. So, to be in your 40s and be told you're not able to walk again, I mean, that's just depressing. And now it's like he has all this money and he has all this, all these material items that he's obtained over his life. I mean, he was on a Forbes list in his 20s, all these things. And it's like, for what? Now his father's just haunting him, his father's words. It reminds me of Bates Motel a little bit, how the mom in Bates Motel, she pretty much programmed her son to be a certain way. And she was in his head so much to the point where when she did die, he couldn't get, he couldn't get away from her. Like, he just kept hearing her voice in his head. And there's definitely a similarity there as far as with parents, becoming this voice in their child's head. And just that pressure to the point where it kind of starts to haunt them. And this was a masterpiece, especially when Ren started going in about, people pretty much putting money first. In the way that this world is set up, he said if we actually used our brains, we could create utopias. Yeah, yeah, but it's like the more society is dumbed down, it's like they want us to almost keep us believing that it was just kind of like the hunter gatherer mentality, when in all reality there was a lot of advanced societies all over the place that were even, I would say, far more advanced than today. And but it's like we're programmed to think that we're moving ahead so much, and the whole time we kind of going backwards, especially when it comes to morals and principles. But with that being said, guys, wow, that hit me right there as I'm talking, just morals and principles, Man, the problem is, that divine feminine energy was crucified so much to a point where um it's too much. It's just too much toxic masculinity and toxic femininity now, and but it's like when I say that divine feminine, I mean like that nurturing isn't really there like that grandma energy. I feel like we all kind of need that. We need more love, we need more love. But with that being said, guys, original link in the description. Ren, you did it again, brother. You made another masterpiece. At the end screen, I'm gonna put up my the video I did where I was around my hometown and people were listening to Ren's song. So definitely enjoy that, guys. And yeah, I'm actually very satisfied. That was amazing. Money Game Part 3. Shout out to Ren. I'll be back with more soon. Much love, yeah.